were hundreds in attendance as they marched from the Amadonna Fair marker by the Pioneer Memorial all the way down to the Law Enforcement Center. Parker Brown followed that march throughout the day. He is in studio right now with our 9 o'clock top story. Parker.
Good evening, Brian. The day was filled with some contentious moments and some moments of unity. The peaceful protest lasted nearly 3 hours, and along the path to the Law Enforcement Center, they made sure to have their voices heard.
As protesters marched, Sioux Falls police were prepared to stop them at a bridge near the state penitentiary. The protesters marched in the middle of the street with a vehicle to drive elders and their drum. The police wouldn't let the vehicle through, citing that their permit to protest included walking along the sidewalk.
We want you to exercise your First Amendment rights, however, we need you on the sidewalk for your safety.
Protesters then stopped in front of the state penitentiary for prayer, song, and they took a moment to call out to Native American inmates. Some could be faintly heard shouting back. While the protest was in response to the use of force against Daniel Beteljun, it was also about something bigger. Protesters called out what they say are examples of overarching injustice and discrimination against Native Americans.
It's a statewide issue. It's not something that's just here. You know, it's not something that just happened to one person. It's something that happened to multiple people, and that's why such a large group came together.
Our people deserve more, that we do deserve proper representation, but for the most part, every American deserves all of their rights intact, no matter what they believe, no matter what side of the table that they're on. We're all humans, and we deserve to be treated decently and with respect.
They finished their march at the Law Enforcement Center before sharing a meal at a nearby church.
Considering some of the things that were said, they're very humble about it, and they all come here for a good purpose. You know, nobody was trying to fight the police or things like that. So I think it was very humble. We came here in a good way, said prayers, and they sang.
The protest showed unity against what they believe to be injustice across the state. They look forward to following the internal investigation of the use of force.
From the beginning, they were calling him a different person's name. So we're hoping that there's something that comes about it where this becomes a bigger issue statewide. Like, people need to know that this is happening.
The conversation about this protest will continue on Monday. A release from the city of Sioux Falls confirmed that participants went outside of the scope of the permit, and additional comments will be made at the press briefing that day. Stick with Dakota News Now for updates on that and potential findings from ongoing investigations. Brian.
Parker.